We get into a shot in the arm. This is our motivational segment, and today we are joined by Tafadzwa Gideon, sitting in for Jonah Mongoshi. Tafadzwa is the CEO, founder of All Schools Media Group. He's an entrepreneur, is a father of 3, and a husband of 1. A devout Christian. Today we're looking at personal leadership. Kugona, Kuzvitungamirira. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Vikendi. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Very well. How is the chill weather?
It's good.
Great,
being
great.
warmed up. Yeah. So let's get into it. Personal leadership, Kugona Kuzvitungamirira. What does that entail?
Yes, Vikendi. Shamari, this is a very critical topic in our day-to-day lives.
Yes.
This is the ability to develop and utilize positive leadership traits to guide your life in a different direction. Shamari, we have a lot of people who wake up every single day not knowing what they're going to do with their lives.
True.
100%. But the thing is, what's lacking is not that there's nothing to do. The thing is, what they don't have is personal leadership. Kuti inini ndoda kumuka ndichiite iko. You get what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that needs to be done, and they are not attending to it. A simple thing like na 6 o'clock Zimbabwean time, but 3 p.m. zinosvika bed usina kwarizwa.
Yeah, I'm gonna 6.
Yeah, I'm gonna 6.
Kutadza kuzvitungamirira.
You know,
Yeah.
kutadza kuzvitungamirira. You know, we are talking of developing and utilizing positive leadership traits to guide your life. You get what I'm saying? You know, when we were growing up, Vikendi, taifamba nemabazi mazupkwaya. And I garakazara, you know. But waiti kana paine munhu mukuru, iwewe uri mwana mdiki wakagara, then that person waimusimukira ogara iye. Our culture was actually trying to train us on personal leadership. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So what we need in each and everyone's life is personal leadership. We need to train ourselves, to teach ourselves every single day to have a positive trait. Look, personal leadership builds value. The value that you want people to see in you starts from personal leadership. The value that you want people to see in you starts from personal leadership.
Being organized, being structured.
100%. Iwewe. Being
Yeah.
organized, being structured. You see, nothing creates value in a person more than when one takes an initiative when no one has asked him.
That's so true.
No, nothing creates value like that. Look, I want to use a Bible character to prove this. So we know the story of Joseph. One morning, the guy was in prison. Then he was told, the king is looking for your services. Hans, you can interpret dreams. And he's taken. He goes before the king. He interprets, the king gives him his dream. He interprets the king's dream. And guess what? He did not end there. Now we are not talking personal leadership. He interpreted the dream. That's what he's been called for. But he goes on to give a solution. Personal leadership.
Wow.
He was not asked to give the solution. He was asked to interpret. But what happened when he gave the solution? When he took a step further, he was rewarded to be the governor. Think about it. There are certain things, there are certain battles that we are fighting every single day. Thinking, no, people don't like me. No, I can't get the promotion. I can't get this. What value are you creating in yourself? Have you ever wondered why certain things are not happening? So personal leadership is very, very important because you're speaking to outstanding awareness of yourself. A lot of people rely on their skills, but your skill set alone is not enough.
Wow.
Your skill set alone is not enough. You need personal leadership. Personal leadership speaks to reliability. There are certain people who are very good at what they do, but they don't get certain things to come their way because they're not reliable.
Yeah. 100%. You know you can't count on them.
You can't count on them.
Yeah. I don't go now, but then I can't count on them.
So you see,
So I'd rather use someone who is, maybe mediocre, who's not as excellent,
exactly,
or who's not as great.
But it's got personal leadership. You get what I'm saying? So we're speaking about a lot of self-awareness, knowing your strength and your weaknesses, and finding a way of compensating your weaknesses with your personal leadership. No one is going to ask how skilled you are when you've been reliable, when you've showed up for a meeting on time. No one is going to ask a lot more questions, because that alone has covered 50% of what needs to be done.
When you initiate, what you've not been asked.
Exactly. Yeah. Let me tell you a story, Vikendi. And so the year is 2009, as you have already elaborated. I'm in the media business. So I'm not going to say names because paredio pakanza pacharo mazita.
Yeah.
But I got contracted to go and do a high-profile wedding. Then we were going to Malawi because one Zimbabwean lady had a son who had married a high-profile daughter of the Malawian president then. So we were going to Malawi. So we were supposed to leave on Thursday. So we didn't leave on Thursday for whatever logistical reasons. We had to leave on Friday. So when we left on Friday, we left a little bit too late. I knew nothing. Look, this was my first time leaving Zimbabwe. I knew nothing about traveling. I actually traveled on an ETD. I didn't have a passport by then. We get into Mozambique. So unfortunately, the bridge, I'm forgetting the name, was under maintenance. So they were allowing only one traffic. So unfortunately, it was our turn to stop. So the traffic that was coming the other way spent over 2.5 hours allowing that traffic to come through. So automatically, we could not be at the border on time. Weekend, the bus had high delegation. I and my friend were probably the youngest people in that bus. We get to Mwanza border, that's the border on Mozambican side, before we get to Malawi. And it was 10:30 p.m. The border was closed. Everyone else in the bus was going to the wedding. Me and my friend were service providers to the wedding. Everyone else accepted the situation, but I said, I'm not going to accept this. So I went out. I found someone who understood a bit of Shona, because we're in Mozambique, and I asked him, help me, my friend, how far are we from Blantyre? And I was told, we are 9 hours away. Guess what? This is 10:30 p.m. I'm going to Malawi to do work for a wedding. The border is closed. I'm first with the situation. I can't get into so much details, but I want to tell you something. I did whatever it took to get the border opened at midnight so that I would get to Malawi in time to do the wedding. It was the first time I got a standing ovation from people who didn't know me. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What are we talking about? We're talking of personal leadership. Using personal leadership to deal with that giant that's right in front of you. That thing that's blocking your opportunities. So we are speaking to what personal leadership can do. Personal leadership unlocking real value in you. Can I give you another example?
Yes, sure.
All right. So, again, growing up, my father would take us to the book fair and would buy some books for us. So he bought another book that had a couple of stories, but there's this one story in particular that really touched me. The story of quinoa and the cabbages. I don't know if you've ever heard of the story.
The story of?
Quinoa and the cabbages.
Okay.
So this story speaks of, it was a drought year in Kenya. And a certain school had a garden, so it was time to harvest cabbages. So, the school had asked the students to assist in harvesting and collecting the cabbages to the dining hall. So, school students being school students, They started off carrying two each, eventually one, eventually assisting each other to carry one cabbage. But there was one particular guy called Kinywa. Kinywa looked for a wheelbarrow. On every trip, he carried as much cabbages as he could. So, unexpectedly, when they were coming for one of the trips, the head teacher said, "Oh, thank you very much, students. Thank you very much. At this point, we are done. Mm-hmm. But now, everyone, carry whatever you have and take it home." And say thank you to your parents for the service that you have rendered.
Yes.
That's when all of them realized, ooh, we really haven't done much.
Exactly.
In that instant, Kinywa's value rose because everyone now wanted to befriend him. Look, he took it.
More.
He had more. He had a wheelbarrow.
I really love that example. Yeah.
He had a wheelbarrow full of cabbages. So here's the thing. When you take an initiative to do the right thing, you instantly create value.
You're doing it for yourself.
You're doing it for yourself, yes.
Even like I was talking to people, like wherever you've been assigned in terms of like your job, you may not be happy, but then give it your all. You're doing it for yourself.
100%.
You're not doing it for anyone else but yourself.
Yes.
Your reward will come because of what you have given. Yeah.
Look, the idea of personal leadership, a lot of people, when they hear the term leadership, they think it entails someone who holds a position and has got subordinates. Far be from it. Leadership is everyone's responsibility. What you do with yourself, what you do with your time. Look, personal leadership speaks to time management. Mm-hmm. You are an institution, Vikendi. You are not just Vikendi. A lot of people treat themselves as just individuals. But let me tell you one thing. You are an institution. You need to find time to have board meetings with yourself.
Yeah.
We need to thank God for our number plates. Because they even number plates with how they just lead their lives. Unoona munhu achipedza kudya zvaanga achidya achifamba. Ipapo panobva patoita bin. Ipapo pari. What value are you creating by those traits?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Unoona munhu ada kupromotwa pabasa weekend. Ndiye number 1 ane the grapevine. Have you heard?
Exactly.
Goa. How is that going to create value of where you're trying to go? Let me give you another example, Vikendi. Because I know at no time I can wonder.
We left with about 2 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But that's fine. So, look, many years ago, during slave trade, there was a certain gentleman who was captured. And ndokuva aenda ku America. So, his master had a lot of servants. But van vai auction wine, it was very bad. But there was this guy in particular, never moody, never said, always up to do whatever needed to be done. So one slave trade buyer came through and he said, I want this one, I want to double the price. And the owner said, no, this one is not for sale. So there's something special about this guy. He's never said, he's never moody. He's always on point. What's so special about him? And why don't you want to sell him? So I can tell you what, this guy was the son of a king in Africa. And he has never lost that. Despite the fact that he was an alien in a foreign land under harsh conditions, personal leadership still made him to stand out.
Like the Ishaya Joseph in prison that we were talking about.
Yes.
Because even then. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you kind of realize that when we take initiatives to do the right thing, I didn't even realize that time would be flying that fast. I have not gone through half my notes here, but still that's fine. But when we don't realize that taking the right initiative to do the right thing, despite the conditions, will make the biggest difference. In our personal lives, in our day-to-day lives, in our work lives, and everything that we're trying to do, as we pursue to create value in ourselves, we must realize every day personal leadership is the key.
Thank you so much. Kugona Kuzvitungamirira. Wow. We're also live on Facebook. You can share this with someone. Tafadzwa Gideon, I really appreciate you making time.
Thank you.
Any information you'd want to share?
Well, definitely would want to invite a lot of people to the Success Family. I'm a member of the Success Family. And for those that want to be part and parcel of the Success Family, let me just reach out to the contact details where you can come through. And, we can share more of these things on personal leadership and personal development, personal growth, a number of different life aspects that a lot of people want to develop. Let me reach out to my contacts and... All right, that's fine. So for those that want to, have more of this from different people, we invite you to send the word join via WhatsApp to this Success Family number. It's 0773 056 736. I repeat again, 0773 056 736.
Thank you so much. It is Star FM, The Morning Galaxy. 10 o'clock time for the news.
This is Zim Paper's Radio Broadcasting News.